And so next thing I know,
Cold start.
boom! It's like an entire tidal wave of water tokens.
Oh
They
my
should
gosh.
they basically the tokens should just be water now. It's
That's
unbelievable.
awesome.
Are we starting?
We're live.
Nice.
Bear, just keep going. Just keep going. Welcome
Nice.
everybody. One Stop Co-op Shop.
It is not a chat without a Bairnt cold open.
I'm really
just
sorry. I didn't even realize we were starting.
No,
At
no,
least
you
I
were
wasn't
telling your
talking-
story.
At
I'm
least I
literally
wasn't
like
saying,
Bear's telling the
something-
story. I'm like, we got 1 minute, 30 seconds,
This is
10
not-
seconds. Just keeps going.
I wasn't telling an irrelevant story. At least that's half the battle.
That's right. Hey, welcome everybody. So this is our co-op chat, our live chat. I try to do weekly as much as possible about various board game topics, generally cooperative focus. Got lots of people here. I see Stacy here. Hey, Stacy, getting my coffee ready for my favorite Saturday morning show. Oh, thank you. We love having you here. Got Ryan
Tweeted.
here. I got Wise Poet. Nice. Welcome, welcome. Greg. Hey, Greg.
Ooh,
So-
Saturday
Wow, we got some
morning-
great people already
Saturday-
here with us.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday morning show. What was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon? Just one of your favorite Saturday morning cartoon.
How can you do that? You can't. It was like the entire Saturday morning was what you watched.
That's
Like
a
you
tough
got up
one.
at 5:30 in the morning, and then you would not stop until the 700 Club came on.
Was it
Right?
Turtles
Yeah.
or was it X-Men?
Turtles were on Sunday. That's fake. You can't use that one. I
I
know
might-
this because I never got to watch them because I had to go to church.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe it was. Was it X-Men? Like the classic one?
X-Men. Yep, that was gonna be mine as well.
that
the
might
X-Men
be
one.
mine. I'm not sure. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think if Turtles was on Saturday or not, but if there
Nope.
was, then I enjoyed that one too.
They were on
Uh,
Sunday.
Oh, over in down in Yon-Ol, Florida, Turtles was weekly. Like every Monday to Friday. It was
That's
on.
what I remember. I think it was like school time, so that's when I.
Okay,
that's- I
so
don't
you
think it counts
guys
for
might have had the
Saturday.
syndicated version of it after it actually airs. Like when it originally showed up, it was every Sunday morning for me, and it made me sad because I never watched Turtles, and of course I never thought of this genius move of hitting record on the VCR.
Ooh, the Smurfs. That's a nostalgic one. Yeah, I
Oh yeah,
remember watching the
Stacy,
Smurfs.
that's what I think I'd have to go with the Smurfs. I used to watch Smurfs. all the time.
Smurfs. Wow. Wow.
Yep,
Alright,
that was the
so-
one. And believe it or not, that was always the longest time slot. Most of them like half-hour slots. The Smurfs was always like an hour to an hour and a half time slot of fun.
Got more
Alright,
people here. See Snow. Welcome, Snow. Got David here. So, all right,
So we've distracted long enough.
we have. We're not here to
Let's
talk
do it.
about Saturday morning cartoons, which are awesome. But we are here to talk about Gen Con stuff because I know it's coming up, and we haven't
It is.
discussed this yet. So I think the plan here is to talk a little bit about preparations and like maybe the convention in general, and we also have a bunch of games that we're hoping to check out while we're there. So
Before we start, did you guys ever watch Dragon's Lair when it was on Saturday morning cartoons? Oh my gosh, that was absolutely awesome. So the way the show worked, have you ever played Dragon's Lair, the video game?
Yep.
Okay. First off, one of the greatest games of all time. First, like 50-cent arcade game, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I would watch this show, and like whenever I go to commercial break, it'd like give you one of those choices, like, okay, should Dirk do this? Should Dirk do this? Or should Dirk do this? And then when you come back, if you chose this, you'd see like Dirk do something terrible and he would die. And then then it's like, but if he did this, and again he would die. And then so hopefully you pick this one, and then the story would continue in the cartoon. Yeah.
It was good.
I remember. I don't know if I saw that. So
I did. It was on Sunday for me.
okay.
And Snow used to watch Chip and Dale's
Mhm.
Rescue
Rescue
Rangers
Rangers.
Definitely watch that.
That's danger.
with Monterey Jack and what was there was Gidget or Digit or something.
Gadget.
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 Thank you.
Yeah,
Gidget.
she was the sane one in the group.
Definitely
so.
not Digit. So Gen Con, you going, Steve?
Yeah, we're all going there. So speaking of which,
Oh, that's right.
all of us will be there on this chat here, plus others from One Stop as well. So Mike and Peter and Colin will also be there. So it's going to be a big presence this year at the convention. And I've said this before multiple times, so I'll make it clear again here. If you see us at the convention, don't hesitate to walk up and say hi. So I would love to meet you guys.
Go a different way.
What's that?
I thought I was gonna go a different way, but that's from our prior conversation.
Oh.
If you see us at the convention, please come up and say hi. To us.
Yes, we would love to. I
Yes.
mean, even if we're
Yes.
middle of a game or something, we'd love to meet with you guys. So
And you'll get one of my neat business cards if you want.
that's right.
Yeah, it's we want to meet y'all. We want to, we see y'all in chat all the time.
Ooh,
And
high fiver. Yes, definitely, please.
I'm level 10.
I want anybody to just come and be like, "Hey, Derrick, what's up?" and introduce yourself.
Definitely. Yeah, for
Yes.
sure. So that's I love meeting new people, and that's why I love going to conventions. It's fun to put a face to a name and networking and stuff like that. That's a big reason why I go. Of course, it's fun to play games stuff like that, but I always love meeting people and talking with them. Ooh,
Derrick, that looks awesome. Yours is way better than mine. You even got a QR code? Oh, wow, look at you. You're amazing.
Mine are coming. I don't have them on me right now, so they'll be here later. But I'll show up. Cards too. But
you're like intense.
Yeah, that's a big one, Snow. That's why I said you guys walk up to us, because I don't know your faces, so I would love to walk up and say hi to you, because I really would, but unfortunately I don't have that connection. So.
And you know what the worst part is? Even if you walk up and say hi to me, I'm probably still not going to know who you are because I'm terrible with names.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to take things at face value. I watch your stuff. Oh, great!
Yeah, that happened once last Gen Con, and it touched my heart, because it was like, I was sitting down to play Darkest Dungeon, just demo it before it was released, before it was shipped, and I sat down next to the guy, and so I was like, "Hey, how's it going? Is this your first con?" Just striking up extrovert, right? So striking up conversations with a stranger. And so he's like, "Yeah, I know who you are. Me and my son watch your channel." And so I was like, oh, that touched my heart.
That's pretty awesome. I have never had a human being tell me that I've seen you on the YouTube.
It just happened once, so it was nothing for me to get no big head over, but it was just very touching.
Yeah, somebody asked me in my painting stream yesterday, it's like, has that ever happened to you? I go, no, but funny enough, we were walking around our like grand old days in White Bear Lake with hundreds of people or whatever from the community. Walk around, 0 people said hi to me. 2 said hi to my son. I'm like, okay. Cooler than I am. Awesome.
All right, so what are we talking about, Steve? What we got?
Okay, talk about Gen Con itself. So, I kind of want to talk about from a generic standpoint on what to expect, and maybe some highlights and things to check out if you're going there or follow along, and then maybe transition to some games.
And also I'd like to add in there of potential possible expectations.
Yes.
Just and expectations going from hotel, going from travel, going from getting to and from the con, and because Stacy's in the chat, she needs a massive shout out, footwear. For the con, because
absolutely,
I'm flat-footed, so being on my feet all day in this massive convention hall is murder on my feet. Like, I've been at I've been, the only other con I've been to is Dragon Con, which is in Atlanta, Georgia, and I didn't have good footwear, and so by noon I'm like, I need to sit down, my feet are killing me, it's just a lot of pain. Footwear is important. It's very important. And Stacy actually recommended this brand of shoes called Hoka Bondis. It's Hoka Bondis. And she recommended those for my first Gen Con. I was like, I trust you. So I bought a pair. Fabulous. Make sure you have footwear that your feet can handle, because you will be on your feet all day long.
absolutely.
So just be cognizant that no one knows how. We talk about board gaming, we talk about events, and we talk about all that other stuff, but these are the small, minute pieces that people don't think about that you should think about. Footwear. It is very important to your enjoyment of the convention.
Coming from a nursing point of view, a medical field point of view of Gen Con, another thing I do that might help is I actually bring with me like a endless supply of Airborne. And I actually take them on a regular basis as I'm going through Gen Con to hopefully eliminate myself from getting ill. I have not gotten ill going to any conventions yet. Not saying that that's the reason, but I'm sure it certainly helps. Either that, if you don't like Airborne, They have vitamin C tablets. Those are also basically what airborne is a high dose of vitamin C. Vitamin C is very good at fighting infections and illnesses. So I do that every morning. I take some airborne. Never before I go to bed, I take some airborne. And that I think helps from that point
Yeah.
of view. Always, of course, do also be mindful. Do not touch your eyes. That is the easiest way to spread an illness to yourself. Believe it or not, most people probably don't know that. But if you do, your eyes are the only part of your body that actually do not have built-in abilities to destroy bacteria and illnesses. So unless I only ever touch my eyes after I wash my hands.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
so
that's a
there's
good
another
sign.
little fact for you guys. So
Yeah,
I always
no,
from
good.
my point of view, that's what I do to keep myself going.
carry
And
hand
I wear the
sanitizer with
worst
me
shoes I
too.
possibly can.
So hand sanitizer is a good one. I think I'm gonna do the airborne one. That's a good tip at Bairnt,
Yeah,
for
that
sure.
is a
Because
good tip.
Concrud is the thing
Yeah.
for sure. And
Yes.
when I say Concrud, it doesn't mean you get like sick. You just feel icky and gross because you've got all this. I mean, you got 60,000 people around you. Is what it comes down to it, right? And it's very easy for stuff to transfer. So
Yeah, and don't think that like Steve said. There's a lot of people around you, and not and they're all in different states of cleanliness depending on the day.
that's
So
true.
definitely be aware of that stuff. Also, a snack is a cool thing because everybody doesn't have like a large keeping of discretionary income. So the food vendors there, while good, they do have a price tag on them. So if you bring some snacks to take along with you throughout the con, small things, a Lara bar, something to just kind of break out, chew on before lunchtime or dinner time, that'll probably help you a lot as well.
I
If you
also
have the
mentioned
ability
about
to, again, going from a medical point of view, if you have the ability to bananas,
yeah,
I know they're a little squishy sometimes, but if you can manage to keep banana around, have
Nice
banana.
potassium, yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
nice potassium boost.
I also mentioned that when it comes to food, it's probably a good idea to try to eat in non-standard times because it's kind of crazy. Like around normal lunchtime period, the lines and the dinners and places get pretty packed. So
Yep.
they do a good job trying to get everyone through, but it's just a lot of people. It's a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a really good point for the cleanliness and walk around part of it. At least so for me, from a general standpoint, when it comes to Gen Con, because I've been I don't know how many years I've been there. Because I used to attend Purdue. A little backstory. Was where I went to college, university, and I would move into my where I was living at the time, whatever year it was, and then Indy is only like an hour or two away, like 2 hours away, I think it is, from Purdue, and so and it just happened to work out that like, a week before the classes, like 2 weeks, 1 or 2 weeks before classes started is when Gen Con was. And so I'm like, this is perfect. So I'll go move in early, and then I'll go to Gen Con. So I've been to Gen Con quite a few times because of that. It's been fun. But I think for me, my biggest thing is there is the there is the rush when the doors open. You've seen the images of like everyone, lined up and the doors open and just kind of flood through. It's fun to experience once. Let me put it that way. If you've never been to Gen Con, I recommend doing it. But after that, there's no need to line up and rush through the doors. Honestly, you can wait 5 minutes and the doors will be open and clean. You can easily walk through. So that's what I'll be doing personally. So, um, oh
And
no,
talk
Dell
about
Boilermakers! Oh no, Stacy. No,
and talk
no,
about the rush is an important thing to be mindful of.
running the nerds.
It's
Yes, yes.
yeah, for people who have not attended Gen Con who are going to be going for the first time. Thursday is when the game hall opens at 9 a.m. I think it's 9 a.m. And what the rush is everyone who wants to get to the booths to get the Gen Con exclusives that will run out like super fast, get there super early, and the entire floor, you can't even see the carpet anymore for how much people are standing. Just if you are a socially anxious person,
Nerds. Wow.
this initial running of the bulls, or the running of the nerds as Stacy calls it, is not for you.
Yeah,
Because
no,
it's a lot of people. And
yeah.
um as soon as they open the door, you just see them funnel into. It's not like they're running and they'll trample you, but they're going to move very briskly, which can cause a lot of more. So the warning of this and is, if you have that crowd anxiety or social anxiety or any type of condition that is not that's not something that gels well with, you might want to go up to the second floor of the con so that you can look down and see it all. And like Steve said, let everybody rush in. 5 minutes later, just go downstairs and walk inside.
Yep, that's what I do. I normally go on the second floor at this point. So,
and also make sure you kind of, if you are going for certain things, make sure you have a plan and know where those things are.
Yeah,
that's kind of an important thing. Like they're saying, this huge rush to get somewhere, where if you rush into this crowd, like, wow, that was super cool, I went into this neat crowd, but where am I going and what am I doing here? Why am I here? Why did I decide to do that?
Yeah.
You must have had a reason. So make sure you kind of know where you're going, what you're doing. Like, know where that Kingdom Death booth is. Make sure you get to that Kingdom Death booth first to get whatever they're selling, which would be absolutely awesome. No,
and the thing of the rush to be careful on, for people who have, and this is once again a thing for people who have not gone and this is your first con, if you run, they'll kick you out.
Yep.
So just know, I want to get to that booth. People still run, but the thing, what I saw last year was people walked very, very, like, speed walk to where they were going. But I've also seen people like who took off and ran, that they would go over, get them, and they would actually put them outside. So they will kick you out if you run, or if you try to act like you're, like at a Black Friday sale. So
right.
Black Friday sale.
So if you're trying to get to
Yogi.
if you're trying to get to a specific booth, you can walk briskly, but don't shove, and don't, and if you're, don't run. I'll say don't run. I'm not going to try to give you any other tips.
I actually need to, that's one thing I have to do before I go, is figure out what's some booths I would like to visit early and see if there's something there. Like I know, like, some companies do con exclusives. Some companies only have a certain run of a certain game they're trying to sell at the Gen Con as well. So kind of know if those are something you're going for, and know if there's going to be tons of copies. Like last year, I was excited for City of Angels, and they had quite a few copies, but it was gone by the time, like, I bought my copy, super excited. But later on that day, and even in the next few days, I was like, wow, that game is totally gone, and they had stacks to the ceiling, kind of thing. So
I think
if you're kind of not sure if you want a game, but then you might not want to. But if you're super excited for something, make sure you kind of hit those things first so you can get what you want. And like we were talking a little bit off screen, sometimes they have games come in for like an exclusive con or whatever, and they might have only 30, but they usually have 30 a day. So if you don't get it that first day, sometimes they'll put it out like this, like, okay, well, we'll have 30 more on Friday, we'll have 30 more on Saturday, 30. So it does give everybody an opportunity added, depending on if you only have like a 1 day pass to the con and you don't want to be there on Thursday. So do be aware that some companies do that as well. Some companies just put it all out there and say, first come, first serve, goodbye.
Yep.
Yeah, they started. I like when they distribute it across the days, and I think it's a perfect tie-in, especially since Marcel here says, "What are you most looking forward towards Gen Con?" I think let's go ahead and transition into games to look for when you're going there. So
Steve knows which one. Steve knows which one I'm looking into.
So let's start with this one.
We're waiting for that one.
Some of them are. So Spider-Geddon is being released at Gen Con in limited quantities. This is one of them. Definitely myself and Derrick are chomping at the bit to get this one for sure, and I really, really hope I can snag a copy for both of us. But
I also was like, I've set contingencies. I was like, Steve, if you can get there to grab it, but then I was also like, hey, Stacy, you're gonna be there. If you get there, can you get one? And she was like, sure. So I was like, I've got contingencies.
Yeah, I can be a contingency too if you need me to, Kanji. I can grab a copy for you.
Yeah, and so which is fine. And so now here's the bit. And someone had asked me before, well, what happens if you end up with more than one copy? Oh, that's fantastic. I'll give one to Steve, and then I will donate the rest to the community.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it will be my thing is, if I get Spider-Geddon more than once, somebody else is getting Spider-Geddon, which is going to be fantastic. Hey, I'll take 12. I'll keep one, give Steve one, and I will donate the rest to the community.
See you in the line,
So
Stacy. Okay, sounds good. Yeah. No,
You might not see me there, Stacy, in that for that game.
how
yeah.
do we
So,
kick him off
and the
this
reason why
again?
I say that,
Just kidding.
and the reason why I say that I'm going to donate it to the community is going to be at no cost other than them playing shipping. Only because I'm on a mission from God. The people who go to cons get promos and sell them online for stupid amounts of money. My job is to counteract them.
Yep.
I hate
Love
that
it.
so much.
I hate that too. But yeah, so this is we mentioned the game, but we should talk about what it is. So this is Spider-Geddon. This is a new core set, kind of lines of season 3 stuff. So if you've never played Marvel United at all and you want to try it out, you could buy this one box and it would have everything you need to play it. Now this is hence the name Spider-Man focus. So especially multiverse focus. If you've seen the new Spider-Man, what's a new movie?
Across
Into
the
the multiverse.
Spider-Verse. Or
Across the Spider-Verse, yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah, that one. So you'll recognize a lot of the characters in there, but some others you won't. This one looks really fun. There's 2 anti-heroes and 2 villains, and I can't remember how many other heroes there are, but I think maybe 6. So I think it's like 6, 2 anti-heroes and 2 villains. So you got quite a bit of replayability in that one already. But yeah,
Is
this
that Spider
one
Noir on the cover there?
Yeah, he's in
Oh,
there.
that's kind of cool.
Spot's on there, which I'm excited to see. So
Spot.
Yeah.
yeah,
Isn't
the
that a
dimensional
dog
guy.
you read about in elementary school?
Well, only if you run.
See Spot run.
Only if you run.
But yeah, so this one is going to be at Kumina or not booth. I have no idea how many copies they have or anything, how to get it. All I know is they did mention limited copies. I also know that this will be available to demo at their booth. And I suspect that there will be a promo tied to that as well. At least at San Diego Comic-Con, there was a alternate art deck for Deadpool. I assume that's going to be at Gen Con as a promo for, hey, thanks for trying a game, but I'm not positive on that.
Yeah, and just so you know, for people who are like, what are the creatures? What are the what comes in the box? The heroes are Scarlet Spider, Penny Parker, Spider Punk, Silk, Symbiote Spider, and Spider Noir, which is that one. The anti-heroes are the purple ones, right? The anti-heroes are Superior Spider-Man and Anti-Venom, and then the villains are Marlin and Spot.
Superior Spider-Man, that's awesome. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah,
is Spider-Ham in the game? I don't know if this is a joke.
If it was, I would cancel. I would just say don't worry about it.
Spider-Ham is in the game,
Spider-Ham
but
is in the
if you guys are familiar with it, it was the one hero we never unlocked in our campaign.
Because we didn't care.
That's pretty funny.
How big is the stack, y'all, of Marvel United? Touching this thing yet? It's pretty big. I still have all the boxes. I should take a picture sometime with all the boxes stacked up. So
I've condensed mine down into a manageable chunk.
Quite a bit.
On Calyx, so I got rid of all the boxes.
Okay, enough Marvel United. I know we could talk about it even more, but let's move on to more stuff.
Oh, it's all the same game, so it should.
It's all the same game. That's right.
It's nothing. No, everything's the
same. Actually, the funny thing is, just saw this, David. If you guys are at Gen Con, and you want to play a game with us, I guarantee you, Derrick and I will sit down and play a game of Spider-Geddon if we have our copies with you, like anytime. So just throwing it out there because it's a quick game, easy to play. So
yep.
Okay, moving on. Forbidden Jungle. So this is another co-op game coming out. This one is probably pretty familiar with this because it's by Matt Leacock, who did Pandemic. And he made the first one was Forbidden Island.
Yep. The second one's Forbidden Desert.
Yep. And then Forbidden Sky was the other one.
Yeah. Yep. Forbidden Sky.
Yeah. So I don't know a whole lot about this one yet. I am hoping they'll have a table sit down and play it. I've had.
It's not do you know? So you don't know if it's a reskin or if it's an actual full-on new game with new.
It's concepts? A new game, but it's got the same feeling as right. Like Forbidden.
The mechanics are probably going to be very similar, but might have some extra things thrown in, or it might have a different twist on it.
Yeah, it's a different twist on it, exactly. No, they're not done with the Forbidden series. No, so this is why I'm bringing this up to put some context on it. So
There's gonna
The team
be
crash landed on a mysterious jungle planet, and there's apparently like escape portals and aliens and stuff.
Oh boy.
So,
yeah. As
our-
long as there are biomes to make a game of, they'll have a Forbidden game.
Yeah.
So
They're
Forbidden
even
Glacier is
crashing on
next.
new worlds.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious. They're normally fun games. They're not like, oh my god, it's amazing. I have to get it, but I want to try it if it's there. So
Yeah, and it should be a fast play game. I wouldn't mind giving it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. Easy to commit to.
Forbidden Island is still a winner at our house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very good game.
The other two we didn't really get into. We didn't really do too much with those other two.
Desert was hard.
Desert's very challenging.
I think
Forbidden Skies was okay. It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like the jump. I think it's just because we like the ease and simplicity of the other one that my 10-year-old can play it and feels like he's able to make decisions on his own and do stuff. So I think that's one of the reasons.
Yeah, the only one I still have is Forbidden Desert right now, but Forbidden Island's really good too, so I do like both those.
Mm-hmm.
And they are a tin box, by the way, so just heads up. I don't know why they like doing tins.
Love it.
All right, what else we got?
Okay, let's keep going.
I don't know. When you're skipping through the pictures, I saw one. I was like, "What?" So I'm excited to get to that one. Here it is. What? What's this? There's the new Last of Us coming out.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
so this is a cooperative
wait a
game.
minute, never mind. I totally thought it was This War of Mine, and I was like, "Wait, there's more This War of Mine coming out." Last of Us.
No.
What's this? I need to go run to get this game.
So
scramble
Escape the
my
Dark.
competitors.
I'm guessing most people have already heard about that one. Did you guys play Escape the Dark?
I played Escape the Dark Castle.
Okay.
I played that one.
Okay, so same type
Oh,
game.
it's by that company with the cards and everything.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so same type of game except The Last of Us, based on the video game. So sounds pretty cool, honestly. I don't know if it's
Brian.
oh
We
gosh.
tried a thing and it didn't work. Okay.
He's opening up new wounds.
We tried a thing and it didn't work.
Oh my gosh, that was so good.
Epic fail.
What are you gonna do? I don't even know what's going on in the game. What am I supposed to be doing?
I remember I was picking Bairnt on the side. Take your turn. Take your turn.
In the Discord, it's your turn. What are you gonna do? And I'm like, I can't even see the map. What am I supposed to do?
Too soon. Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead, Steve, about the escape.
This plays up to 5 players, which I think is that higher than normal for Escape? Escape the Dark?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
I've only seen Escape the Dark played like as a solo, really. People just doing live.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this supports solo as well. Yeah, it does say solo. Yep, it does support solo. So yeah, anyway, I haven't played the video game at all. I did watch the series.
You ever played the video game, Steve?
If you watch the series, you played the video game.
Yeah.
It was pretty close to match.
Yeah, we watched it. Kim watched all the cinematics for the video game, and she was really into it. And so we had to watch the series, and we both enjoyed the series. We thought it was really well done. So.
Oh, that's the way you did it, huh? I'm gonna
Yeah.
skip the game, just watch cinematic series. You know what?
Yeah.
I have to admit, I have done that myself. I played Final Fantasy 13 and decided not to play Final Fantasy 13 2 and 3 and just watch the cinematics. I was like, well, I kind of want to know how this is gonna go now, but I don't want to play those two games.
What is this comment about? Are we in on this one, Kanji? Let us know, information broker. Okay.
I'm but a humble information broker. I'm gonna check this out and I'll let you know. I'll go. The Escape the Dark Castle. It was fun, but it had a shelf life.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. I haven't played Escape the Dark Sector, but I am curious of this one to see if it's just a reskin or if it has new mechanics. So I'm curious, and I will be stopping by their booth to check it out.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll come with you.
All right.
Seems cool. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of information on this stuff. I just want to bring it to our attention because I think these are all games that will be there in some form to check out.
Yeah.
Be it to demo at the booth or just see it and talk about it. I don't know. So
I almost guarantee this will be there because they were there in big fashion last year.
yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Next one to bring up is Freelancers. This is a Crossroads game. This is based by Flat Hat Games. If you're familiar with the game, the zombie game. Oh my gosh, what's it
Dead
called?
of Winter.
Dead of Winter. Thank you.
Oh, is that from them? I got it. It's up there.
Yeah, so Dead Winter has the Crossroads element built into it. This one has it in it. Now, as far as I can tell, I think this is full co-op and not trader
And that's
mechanic-y
semi-co-op
co-op
or trader, yeah.
Well,
like the zombie one.
back for a second. For people who don't know, kind of explain what the crossroads mechanic is.
Yeah, so
'Cause
the
you were
Crossroads
saying it.
mechanic
Yeah.
is there's a
You
deck
come
of
to a road
cards.
and you decide which way to go.
Right. Everyone draws draw a deck of cards, and someone else draws a card, and then it'll read a narrative, and you have to pick a decision, and it'll branch. It'll be a crossroads on where the game goes based upon your decisions. So that's how I describe it, I guess.
Okay.
I played
So
Dead of Winter once with my sister and her family and my family, and and we put like stuff in. You know, you have to put the things into the into the deck, and then you look to see how many are in there, and if like the trader is in there, probably put more than you're supposed to, so you don't meet your number. So I put in like 2 things of garbage or something, and then my nephew put in. I'm gonna put in 2 things of garbage. Like nobody else put any in. And then like they go to reveal it, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, there's not enough. Somebody put the wrong thing in here." And I'm like, I'm gonna vote for my nephew. And like the vote failed, and I was like, "How did the vote fail? Why would this fail?" And then
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote for Bairnt. I'm like, "There's no way. I have no reason to be the traitor." And so they voted me out, and I was like, and they're like, "Oh, you're the traitor, aren't you?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." And I flip over the thing like, "I'm not the traitor." So okay, now pretty good idea who a traitor is, right? And my sister turns to me, "I'm so sorry I voted you out, but you had in order for me to win the objective that I have, you couldn't be in the settlement." I was like,
Oh, jeez.
I've never played that game competitive. It's always been co-op for me. Yeah, but I've never used the trader mechanic. I just take the cards out.
Yeah, the Dead of Winter game didn't work for me, honestly.
I had
Really?
a blast
Yeah.
with it. It's super good.
Mechanically, I liked it. It's the goals. The goals don't align. Like it's like if I'm not gonna win, there's no incentive for me to continue helping the team win. Right? I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's my sister had one like have the most like people or something, and I had already found like 3 people that were part of my group then, and she's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna win if he's in the camp, so I'm gonna vote him out."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my objective wasn't on the personal goal. That's probably why I like the game, because I was like, there's an overall goal, and so even if the personal goal I don't win that, I want to beat this overall goal. I want to get as much, get as much samples or have enough food for the winter or whatever. And that's what I focused on. But I like it. I still have the game.
So let's transition from that to freelancers.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm never talking off. I'm never making. I'm never going left on.
No worries, no worries. Yeah, Marcel's asking. So the theme here is you are freelancers, hence the title, right? It is a fantasy theme where you're going on adventures, and it is driven with there's an app involved in this. Just FYI, the app is assisting the game in like turn structures and time, all that stuff. So it's going to tell you to open a book. And you can see the book in this image here, and the book will have worker placement areas basically. And some places might be like someone has to go do this task. Other ones might be any number of people can do this task, and you have a time period where you will assign your people to these spots, and then after the end time period, you'll read what happens and do what it says. And based upon your choices, it will through the app branch off in different areas. So I think the crossroads mechanic is being merged into the app to have some type of intelligence around it. Is my understanding. I'm not entirely positive on that, but it is a combination of getting through the story of it. It's very very narrative driven, and you'll be gaining loot and leveling up all that fun stuff with fantasy characters. So seems cool. I don't really know a whole lot about it. I'm hoping they have something there to try out and demo, but I think I like the sound of this a lot more than the previous Crossroads games.
Okay.
Forgotten Waters was amazing. Somebody's asking if everybody's played Forgotten Waters. I have played many, many missions in Forgotten Waters. My wife and I have played this tons. Game is super fun. We take out the competitive mode part though. Like any card you draw that has to do with like competitive stuff, like take like this from a pirate or something. We just take those out. We work together to kind of get through the story and stuff, and it's super fun. The app is super cool. We love Forgotten Waters.
Yeah, this freelancers one, from what you described, Steve, it does sound interesting. I'd be curious to stop by and see.
Yeah, it's listed 3 to 7 players, but I did see confirmation there is solo support and 2-player support in there. Now, the one thing
Hopefully
about
it's
this is
not a
there are
board.
roles in the games, and
They're
so
what rolling rights? Oh, I'm fine with that.
not rolling rights, but roles. Like someone will have to be a medic, someone will have to be the GM, someone will have to be someone else, and like the GM is the person who manages the app.
Angie sounded super excited all of a sudden. Oh.
But you do write on your card boards. So in this you pick a species and then a class.
Angie's getting super excited about this one.
And then you're going to check off boxes on filling your names and stuff. It's very narratively driven. Like pick your name, pick a character's name you're familiar with or something like that. It seems interesting. Seems real interesting. So.
I'll check out their solo mode and see how they handle it. Like I'm still very curious, but like Marcel's saying, 3 to 7 players,
down
3 to 7 players with a solo mode. That's hard to pull off.
I'm
So.
curious about that too, especially since like do you have to take on
player and a solo mode? And I'm like, how does that even work? It's like 3 to 7. Oh, but there's a solo and a 2-player mode. So then you just put 1 to 7 on the box.
I don't know. I assume they have to do something weird because like
it does sound weird, Steve.
Yeah, it is because you have to manage all the different actions. Like there's a medic in the game you have to manage, and there's another one who manages the initiative track. Another one manages the app. Another one manages the map. So there's like a cartographer in there, for example. There's all these mini asymmetric roles to take on. And so, like, if you're playing one player, how do you manage all those asymmetric stuff? I don't know. Who knows?
It's like U-boat then.
Yes, I think it's gonna be like U-boat. I think so.
Yep.
Take a drink. We mentioned U-boat.
Very silly.
So, anyway, I don't know a whole lot about it, but it seems cool. So, freelancers. Okay, let's move on. The next one, City of the Great Machine.
Oh, is this like Dark City with Kiefer Sutherland?
I don't know that.
Is this game already out?
It is already out. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. But I kind of want to take a look at it. I think Mike covered this recently. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe it's coming up soon. I can't remember exactly. I did watch this on Antlab Games. They covered this one. Seems cool. It's 1 versus many or full co-op. The premise is it's kind of steampunk era. The Great Machine is basically AI has taken over the city, and if you're playing one versus many, one person is the AI. If you play co-op, it's everyone versus the AI, this machine. And so, as players, you're running around the city trying to build up a revolution and revolt against the machines. Basically, like Terminator, but steampunk era.
Gotcha.
And at the end of every turn, can I yell, "Shut it down"?
Shut it down. Yes.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time now. Now I got to go back and watch that. Dark City. That was a good movie. I like that.
Mike said, "Is your number 1?" So you've already played this, I'm guessing, Mike, huh? So.
Yeah, this I remember looking at the board and was like, oh boy, but I remember Mike saying that this was fun.
Yeah.
It
looks really cool.
Derrick, come on. From a Eurogamer, you're gonna look at a board and say,
"Played it like 30 times." Oh wow, wow.
Yeah, I will check this game out. I'll check it out. I can commit to that. I'll definitely check it out. Go look at it. Someone said it was a Lacerda game. This isn't a Lacerda game.
I don't think so.
Snow said she was wrong. She apologizes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it seems really cool. This is one I'm kind of thinking. I'm hoping one of us. I might just. We'll figure it out. Buy a copy and try it while we're there. So.
Yeah, I'll definitely. If they have a booth set up, I'm gonna sit down and check it out.
Yeah. So. And I think Mike might have played it already, or he's getting a preview copy. I'm not sure it's out there yet, but
you need a Tiny Epic version.
Yeah, we need Tiny Epic version. I know. We don't have Tiny Epic Steampunk yet. That's true.
The publisher of this one is called Crowd Games. That is the publisher.
Yep, Crowd. This is one where all you need the base game. Expansion and ice not needed at all. Oh, that's good. Okay. So just the base game. It's just a complete game. Good to hear.
I'm still laughing at Bairnt's comment. Sorry. It's 3 to 4 player, but there's a 1 to 2 player mode.
Okay,
Sorry.
got 2 more games to
Continue.
talk about.
Uh-huh.
Unmatched Adventures. So Unmatched
they're doing-
historically was a competitive game.
Yes, it is. I
And-
played this Unmatched game. I was awesome at this game. I rocked it.
Can you want to describe more about it? Because I actually don't know a whole lot about it, Unmatched.
So you get it's supposed to be one of these things that mashes up almost anything in the universe to play against anything else ever in any universe. You know what I mean? It's like you have like Sinbad the Sailor play against like I don't know Shang Tsung or something from Mortal Kombat or something. Like it's just this kind of craziness. You all get I believe if I'm right. Haven't played it since Gen Con of like 3 years ago when the game originally came out. But you get like a deck of cards, and those deck of cards usually, and you can play with two players against 2 players. You can play 1-on-1. You're in a board. Each character has a completely different way of playing. One could be like a speed attack kind of character. Some can be more defensive and like go against it. And basically, the goal of the game is to punch your friend into oblivion, just like any other competitive 1-on-1 game. Is the deal, or 2-on-2. So that's pretty much the premise of the game. I'm guessing Adventures. I think I looked into this one. This is the Adventures, if I remember right, is going to be actually cooperative. If
That's
I
right.
remember right. Now I don't know how many are going to be able to cross into the cooperative space from what's already out there. But if everything can, that's almost Marvel United worth of content for you.
That's awesome.
Because they have tons of different like expansion characters and stuff for this game.
And I think I stayed away from this one because it was a 2-player, combat Street Fighter style.
It's exactly what it is. Street Fighter style type game. Yep.
Yeah, so that doesn't play well for any solo gamers. So
No.
stayed away for the long.
I'm going to play you in it.
I don't mind. It's just I would never own it because it's that type of game. So I see on here, and I went and looked at it, that it says 1 to 4 players on this.
That's right. It is
So-
solo co-op now. So,
Yeah.
but like Bairnt said, I don't know how
None of that craziness.
I don't know how backwards compatible it is. So we'll have to take a
Mhm.
look. But that's one I want to see. I want to know more about it. So, because
The Unmatched series is a very hot series. It is a really followed series.
Yeah.
And the mechanics and the way the game plays when I played it is smooth, pretty concise, pretty quick. It was a lot of fun. I actually really had a good time playing it. I felt bad because I was in ruthless mode when I played it. And I pretty much told it was so bad. Oh my gosh. So we had to play against this other group. It was 2-on-2, and I was playing with my friend. And I said, okay, here's what we're gonna do. And I told, he's like, okay. And I almost pulled like a Colin on him when we played one of the games we played. He told my guy, oh, go over there, it'll be just fine, it'll be great. Yeah, and then my guy died. I did the same thing with my friend. I was like, okay, I need you to go over there and hit the guy a couple times. He's like, well, I might die. Don't worry, I've got a plan. So he goes over there, hits the guy or something, and he did a couple damage or something. And then he was we're playing against the Black Knight, so the Black Knight just like beheaded him, and that was the end of his guy. I was like, he's like, I'm dead. I go, don't worry, I had a plan. And so then I was playing like Sinbad, and he has like all these cards that make him move because he's on a freaking ship. And so he's like, I'm playing these move cards or whatever, and then I hit him with something like for every damage like that had been done this turn or something, you get to do extra damage. So I get one shot at the Black Knight. And it was super fun, and I felt so bad because I told my friend to just go die.
Yep, the infamous Bairnt's I've got a plan. So...
Yep, this time it worked. I got about 10% chance.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yep. I have to admit, we were playing what do you call it? The Oathsworn the last time Colin and I played Oathsworn. I saw a side of Colin I had never seen before. There was a point where I'm like, okay, he's like, you need a 7 in order to win the game. I was like, okay, I'll roll him. He's like, I can't watch it. He actually physically, I've never seen him. Like, I can't watch it. I didn't want to see the roll.
That's awesome.
So anyway, that was completely off topic. I'm going to let you guys do the next game because otherwise I'm going to tell 9 stories about either the game or something that's not related to it.
Yep. So I got one more game, and this one was a surprise to me. I don't know. I've never heard anybody talking about it much. So that is Sky Team. So this is 2-player only. I don't think it's soloable. So sorry, Derek.
Ooh.
But
Get
it
to
is
save
cooperative.
money.
And the premise is you are. What the fuck? Did I miss something?
That one looks really expensive too, Derek.
Oh, yeah.
That's at least $5, whatever. Let me look at that $600 game.
Saving $20.
So, yeah, this one, 2 players only, and there's a pilot and co-pilot. And the premise is you are piloting an airline, a plane. And it is all about landing, and I don't know about takeoff too. I'm not really positive, but it's all about those type of approaches. And the cool thing about it is it's modeled off of reality. So you might be like in San Francisco where there's ocean nearby, so you have to take that into account. It might be another city I can't remember where there's a mountain nearby, so you have to like bank the airplane and come in. And so you're trying to keep the airplane level and do also approach vectors, and it's limited communication. So I'm not sure how much you guys can communicate between each other, but it's one of those type of games where the co-pilot can only do certain things, the pilot can only do certain things, and you have to work together to solve the puzzle to land a plane and keep it airborne in the right fashion.
Yeah,
Okay.
so this,
And it is dice placement, Derek.
Yeah, I looked at another image of it because we've been talking about it, but kind of like looking into it, and it looks cool.
Yeah.
It looks very cool.
Wise Poet has a good question, wanting to know if there's food poisoning in it and if you need to put Stryker on the plane. So there's 3 things about this. So 1, if this is anything like Flight Simulator, I'm going to crash every time. And 2, how are you limited communication against a pilot and a co-pilot? You say, okay, I'm going to come in. I'm going to start banking into the left. I'm not going to tell that guy that.
No, that's what. Put down the landing gear. No, that's what they'd be expecting us to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's like giving me a sign with his hand. Does that mean put the landing gear down? Like, why would I not tell the person, hey, can you put the landing gear down?
I don't know about the
the
limited
other
communication
thing
part. I
is
gotta
this
figure that
game
out. But the
does
game
look
itself
like it
looks really
has-
fun. Looked really interesting. Like I said,
It
I
does
hadn't
look
heard much
like-
about it yet. But this one's definitely on my target for checking out.
Oh, the silence is dice assignment. You need to silently assign your dice to the correct spaces in your cockpit to balance the axis of your plane, control its speed, deploy the flaps. But I'm curious to see how that mechanic works, because if the pilots of a plane that I'm on aren't talking to each other,
I don't want to be on that plane.
I'm gonna feel a little bit of concern.
Nope. You guys can fly solo.
Marcelo's got to go real quick. He has a question. Is One Stop going to have a Gen Kent show for folks like me who can't go? We're definitely going to do a recap of Gen Con experience for sure.
Yeah.
I think that
I am actually bringing my computer, and I am going to make Colin and I talk about, and Steve, about, and if Derek, you'd like to join us, we're going to do it every night about what we did at Gen Con before we after we get back.
Of course, I'm gonna join y'all.
Every night.
What type of silly question is this?
We're going to talk about what we did at Gen Con that day, and the things that we did. Derek's going to have pictures because he's going to be, I've noticed he's way better at taking pictures than I am. I think the last time I went to Gen Con, I took a picture of my foot. It's the only thing I took a picture of because my camera accidentally just went off.
I'm actually bringing my Sony A600 big boy.
Oh,
so
I'm bringing my iPhone.
Yeah, so that's going to be my camera. I'm going to get some really good shots this con.
Yes. So that's our plan. What platform we're putting it on, we're not sure, but just check out one of the 3 channels, and I'm sure you'll find.
We'll talk over some details. So
yeah. Sky
we'll do more
Team.
coverage for you guys.
I actually, you've piqued my interest, and I want to ask the developer what, and then from there, it's like, okay, can I play solo? So, but it looks cool. I mean, just from the images, it looks really cool. The dice placement, trying to level the plane, drop the flaps.
I might buy it just so Robin and I can play.
Yeah,
this is by the Scorpion, the Scorpion Mask.
Oh, I thought there was a scorpion. Why is there a scorpion in the plane?
Sticks on plane, now Scorpion's on plane.
No, we just need Samuel L. Jackson now, and we're good.
Scorpion in the plane.
But
the Scorpion made Turing Machine.
Exactly, I was gonna mention that they made Turing Machine, so they make some really solid games. So I'm optimistic.
Okay.
That's like my wife. Whenever we go into the football season, she's always guardedly optimistic about the Vikings' chances.
Why? Oops.
And I'm always super optimistic. I'm like, oh, it's Super Bowl this week, baby. We're going. Oh, ho, ho.
Yeah, Turing Machine. I remember Stacy picking this up at last Gen Con. So
Yeah, really cool concept. So yeah. So anyway, that's what I had for games that I think are worth checking out at Gen Con. I'm just probably there's a lot more I missed. I'm sure,
I should
but
have gave you my list. There are a couple dungeon crawlers in there.
yeah.
Myth is gonna be there. Oh yeah.
Oh, the new Myth. That is
oh,
correct.
I shouldn't say that. I have no idea. If Ulysses Spiel is there, then I'm sure they at least have something showing Myth there.
yeah.
Ulysses Spiel's going to be there because they'll also be selling Aventuria.
Yeah. I've played their version of Myth. I don't like it as much, but of course they were still in development when I did that video. It was all print and play at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
I have no confirmation of this, but I'm hoping Better Than Games has the new Defenders of the Realm game there to look at. Because I'm really excited for that one coming up. It looks different and a lot of nice improvements on that. But
yeah, Van Ryder Games, I believe, is going to be there. So for people who are looking to pick up some copies of Final Girl, and you weren't able to grab them, and you're going to Gen Con, those will be
mine right there.
some really good pickups.
Stacy has a question. She says, "What do you think about Orange Nebula announcing they aren't going?"
Was Orange Nebula there last year? I don't
Who's
think
Orange Nebula? What do
they
do?
made what's it called? Unsettled.
Yeah.
I have to look at
really?
them on my shelf. Yeah, they made Unsettled, which is you're stranded and you land on different planets.
It's Lost in Space, but even more harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any problem anybody not going because, to be frank, it is super expensive. Super
I
expensive.
prefer to call you
Gen Con.
Steve, not Frank.
You need that floor space and everything, and it's insane. It's a lot of work and effort to manage all that. It's probably worth it, I'm guessing, but I don't think you go there to make money. Let me put it that way. It's my guess. So
you don't think you go where to? Ulysses Spiel is going to be there. I'm looking at the Gen Con map. Ulysses Spiel is going to be there. They're at booth 1934.
I just think I might spend all my time at the Foreteller booth because like everybody that I think is awesome is over at Foreteller booth.
I'm excited to talk to the Foreteller guys.
Yeah, Jamie will be there for sure.
Sky Kingdom Games will be there as well, so at that booth. So
so is Madara's there. They're going to be at that booth. Was it Succubus Publishing?
Succubus Publishing.
And then I think isn't Oathsworn over there too? Or no, Oathsworn's not there. They're somewhere else. Aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll be. I mean, there's a lot of publishers. Renegade Games is going to be there for people who enjoy their series of games, and I believe Renegade is the one that they not only have a booth in the con, they have like a room outside of the con. Last year they did where you could go in and try out a lot of their games, Wreckland Run and things like that you could try.
That makes sense. No, they said that he decided not to go because of time, money, and logistics. It's a lot. It totally makes sense, honestly.
Yeah,
a lot.
Wow.
Mike has a comment here. Says Uprising from Nemesis will be there. So it says Derrick will probably love that one. I have that one game coming, Derrick. So if you don't play
I don't know what it is. What is it?
It's like a 4X type.
Yeah.
More like a 3X type game, honestly. But it's a 3X massive game where how do you describe this one? You are different unique factions. And you're wandering around this frozen wasteland with two other AI armies, and you're taking over land, battling up, building up stuff. You've got a hero you're running. Pretty unique theme.
Okay. The only thing Colin and I played it. The thing we weren't the super excitedness about it. This game shines, believe it or not, if you have the time, 4 players.
Yeah.
Is the way it shines. 2 players because it's a cooperative game-ish in a way, like you can work together, but the problem is I start like on this side of the board and he starts on this side of the board. In order to be cooperative, you actually have to get to each other, but of course, like Steve says, there's one AI coming from the outside of the board and there's one AI that's on the inside of the board expanding out. So actually meeting up seemed like it was really going to be it almost seemed like that had to be your mission to try to meet up to help each other. But if that's your mission, you're dead meat. I mean, because it's a brutal. I've only had a few experiences with it, but it's a pretty brutal game.
It's tough.
It's one of those where there's not a lot of leeway for wrong choices. but that's kind of the nature of the game. One of the strategies is to try to make the two, because those two factions don't like each other either. Take the technically two enemies. So if you can get somehow coerce the enemies to get into each other's spaces, they'll actually attack each other and start taking themselves out, which is kind of which is a strategy you can use. There are different strategies to do, but you kind of want to really focus on that strategy, and you might have to change it as you're playing. But if you do, you have to make sure that that is like something you're really going for, because it can be, if you're just kind of wishy-washy on what you want to do, it can be pretty brutal. And sometimes you're gonna love it, Derrick. If the dice don't go in your favor, it's a downward spiral.
So I will get destroyed at this game consistently.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. It's a long game too. That's
I
my
didn't make it
big
through round
controversy.
2 almost every time I played. Every time I played it, I didn't get through round 2. If you
Yeah.
watch my playthrough of it, I got worked by round 2. To the point where I already realized there was no coming back. It was like, oh boy. So then I just went on like suicide mission to show what happens when you die.
Okay. I have some games if we have time, or if we're done, we're done.
No, go ahead.
I know you'll have to pull them up, Steve, just to run through. But
Go really fast.
no, it's just gonna be one. The first one's called Books of Time, or which is this one is and let me just I got to demo this at what happened here? Sorry. I got to demo this at UK Games Expo. This one's created by Board and Dice. Well, it's published by Board and Dice, but it's a really cool game where you have this flip book that you have it's a small little cute little tiny book. You open it up, you start with a set of pages, and as you it's a resource management one where you purchase pages in your book, and you actually open the book and put the pages in. And as you turn the pages, you collect resources based on what's on there. And the thing is the objective is to fill out your win condition, but filling up your book, going through the ages, getting all the way to the back of the book. So it's like you're writing your history as you're going through the game. And Books of Time, I demoed this. It was Brian, Cynthia, and myself who went to UK Games Expo. And we sat down and we demoed this, and it was fun. It was a fun game. They say that they have a solo mode on it with an AI that's in it, that kind of does the typical AI stuff of block you or take things, which didn't really resonate with me. But this game as a 2 to 4 player game, I think there's a lot of fun in it for this to go. So,
is it like competitive multiplayer solitaire, or?
It's competitive. It's competitive. I wouldn't call it. Well, I would you call it solitaire? And I just, this is me actually asking for clarification. Would you call it solitaire if it's like the AI or players are blocking actions from you because they're taking those actions?
No.
So that's the part that's kind of it. It's a competitive game for sure, because it's a point chase game. It's a Euro. So it's a competitive game, but the pages that you purchase, like how you get a page in your book, is you have to spend paper and ink to be able to do it. So like it'll say, okay, well, to purchase this page, I need to spend 2 ink, 2 paper, and like I forgot what the red cards were called, but one of those resources, and then I could purchase this page from the shop, put it in my book, and then on my turn, I can use that page to gain resources that are written on it.
It sounds cool.
Yeah. So this one, I may not be describing it in the best light, but it's a fun Euro. And so as it being a fun Euro, multiplayer is the way to go. It's not a co-op based game. It is a competitive point chase. So Steve, I know that scratches it off your list, but it might be something that for people who are into competitive games might want to take a look at.
Robin says that your dice rolling is actually a myth.
Only with crocodiles. Only with crocodiles.
Yeah. LaQuitter says that's because it's digital dice. Making these real ones will be fine.
Yes. Accurate. Very accurate.
The next one I had on my list is actually Barcelona.
I've heard of that one.
And Barcelona, it's a mid 19th century game. It's densely populated, and it's like you take on the role of builders building new districts in the city of Barcelona. So it's an interesting. Once again, this is worker placement, right? This is done by board. This is another game published by Board and Dice. That looks pretty interesting. As I said, you're building out sections. You have your own boards, you have your own set, and once again, since it's a Euro, it's the point chase mechanic. I'm just saying that for people who are not into the point chases, but for people who are, this might scratch that itch for you. But it's really cool. It's described as, it says, you will take on the role of builders in 19th century Barcelona who are working on a new expansion to the city. Your main goal is to construct buildings to accommodate the citizens who want to leave the old city, and in the process you will also build streets, tram lines, and public services. You may even decide to explore modernism, a new cultural and art style that has been gaining popularity among the rich. And this is the mid 19th century style of things. So this could potentially be something that people like. Just something to keep an eye on. Something to keep an eye on.
Yes, Mike, you are correct. Kanji has come to realization over the last month that he is only into Euros now.
No.
So anybody that
No.
goes to this channel for dungeon crawling, you might be disappointed about it. If you're into Euro dungeon crawling, oh, Kanji's got it for you. I am totally kidding, 100%. I know you have multiple. I know your game collection spans multiple genres.
Yeah. And I'm just dipping my toe into the Euro placement now to find what I like in that.
I actually have to do Feast of Odin come September, so I'll be doing that one.
Sweet.
That's a Euro that has also got the poly thingy going, where you have to place different things onto the things based on shapes and stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting. That was I lost the bet last year that I have to play that game now.
That's pretty cool though.
I learned my lesson. Never bet an Eagles fan. Jalen Hurst at quarterback.
So the last one I had on my list of things that might interest people, and it's is Undaunted, by Osprey Games.
Which
David
one?
Thompson and Trevor Benjamin created. This one's Undaunted Battle of Britain is the specific expansion. So for people who've played on Undaunted and the Undaunted expansions that came out with it, I believe Battle of Britain is the latest one that's coming out. What's the reason why I had this game, I purchased it at Gen Con, but I never got to it because I wanted to. I so wanted to get to it, but I knew I never was going to. So therefore, I culled it, which makes me sad because I hate culling games before I play them.
That's not like you.
Yeah. I was sad about it, but
Unless it's Burn Cycle.
Well, Burn Cycle's a different story. That was like it came in and it went out. I learned a lot.
It's unlike you to do that kind of thing.
I learned a lot about myself with Burn Cycle. But this, what's really cool about the Undaunted series, especially the first Undaunted, I sat down at the first Gen Con and I talked to David Thompson, and he was saying it's actually based on his granddad's unit, and every character in that that is part of that unit is in the game. And he just sat there. We talked for about an hour, and he just sat there talking about the inspiration for the game, the stories behind it, and all this other stuff. And I was like, holy crap, I'm going to support you. Here's some money. And I really wish I was able to play it, but he's got Undaunted, he's got Stalingrad, and now there's Battle of Britain, which I think is a 2-player game. I think this is a different style, but it's a 2-player game where you're part of the Royal Air Force or the RAF, and so it looks pretty interesting.
Have you played any Undaunted game, Derrick?
I haven't played any, and I want to. That's the thing. I want to play it.
They're cool.
I'll play with you.
Yeah,
do what?
I like the Undaunted series quite a bit, actually.
I never played it. I'd love to play it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a weird deck building twist. In a war theme game, it's very light
Yeah.
on a war
And
theme.
he released a campaign, which was Stalingrad.
Hmm.
And I think, Steve, I think you would like Stalingrad because it's
Probably
the
would.
thing of it is that the board, it is a military campaign game, and the decisions you make actually change the board.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So if the Axis powers destroy a building, when you go back to that map, the building's destroyed, and there's a thing to put on there to cover to say that this building is now destroyed. So the board is consistent, and it's ever changing because every single time something new occurs or something new shows up or you destroy something, it stays throughout the entire region, throughout the
Hmm.
entire campaign. And I was like, this has Steve written all over it, but I don't know if you've ever got a chance to dive into it.
Not that version of it. I played the first Undaunted. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
It's more that it's competitive, and I
Uh,
I focus on cooperative. So
gotcha. Okay.
that's my main. If Undaunted had a cooperative mode, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think Stalingrad, it would be you versus an AI, I believe Stalingrad is. And people
That's a
correct me if
really
I'm
interesting
wrong.
idea, Robin. Teaching using this in high school for teaching, you
Yeah.
definitely could.
Yeah. This is a good historical game to go through.
Definitely could.
Yeah. Anytime someone says, "Hey, teaching in school," immediately my first thing is Freedom Underground Railroad.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Excellent
yeah,
game.
those were the three off the top of my head that I could think of. I don't know if this company is going to be there, but I purchased their game, and where is it? Let me hold on one second.
See, look at this, Steve. You don't have to pull anything up. He's gonna do it for you.
I know. Try to scrabble find images.
This one.
Oh,
Oh,
Mr. President.
nice. I heard
So I
that's
purchased
supposed to
this
be good.
game. This box, I have to hold it with both hands.
So that it glares like crazy. That'd be amazing.
Is it glaring bad? I'm
There you
sorry.
go. That's
Y'all are
better.
seeing my outside window. So, but
I'm
it
gonna
is
freeze
called.
that picture later so I can. Now I'll try to find landmarks outside your house.
You're probably not going to find much. But this is called Mr. President, an American presidency. It spans. It is a massive. If y'all think Mind Clash makes massive games, yeah. So this was designed by Gene Billingsley, and you are taking on the 4 terms, the 4-year term, sorry, of a presidency, taking on all the different things that goes along with it. And when I say all, I mean all. So
Including Area 51.
maybe, I don't know, I haven't opened it yet, but it is a massive, heavy Euro game that you just kind of make these decisions and things impact. You have to deal with military, homeland, everything that comes with the presidency. And
I
it
love
is
how you
a
were overly worried about that last games board that we talked about, and then you see this picture.
this game's board is massive. I am so terrified of it, but I was like, you know what? YOLO. and if I could find if I can find a Euro, this one actually has, okay, let me roll it back and why this interested me. This one has a purpose, right? There's a point system in it, but this one has a purpose. The cards that you draw are things that could continually affect your gameplay as you play it. And it's not, okay, I'm playing this big campaign. You play it all in one sitting. You could
Right.
play 1 year and then step away and then come back and play the next year. But you play it all in one sitting. And it's like one of the cards that you have is, oh, there's some hacks that are coming in that are causing some serious big problems. So it's like, okay, well, I can't take care of that right now because I'm dealing with this crisis that's going on foreign soil that may impact our, what's going on in the U.S. So then the next year it moves over, and the effect of that card changes. So
Hmm.
it could either get worse, or it could get better, or it can have an immediate effect as soon as it moves to your second year because you didn't bother with it. So there's a lot of things calling your attention, and the mission is to just survive your first term without without destroying the country or getting impeached or fired. And I think that
you only play the first. It technically is only like a 1-term deal, so you're not like, okay, you did well your first term. Let's see if you get voted back
right,
and do it again.
right,
It's just the one
right,
term.
right.
So the expansion is called "Congratulations, Let's Do It Again" or something like Term 2. Is that the expansion? Term 2? Which would be pretty cool. Like you have to do so well in
Yeah.
the first term, and then you have to add up your points to see if you're able to go to your second term. Like, oh, you did not make it.
And so it's so let me run through it. This is a solo only game. There is no multiplayer. It is a 1-player game because there's only one president, right? Here's the play time on this game. 360 to 600 minutes.
What? That's not a euro. That's like a that's like a real presidency.
And I think that they because they said that it's so big that each year you can like stop. You can be like, finish a year, all right, go away, go. And then when you come back, you can continue on with what's going on. But if you play it in full, it is a big game. And the box itself is super heavy because there's a lot of cardboard in there. The weight on this game is a 4.2 out of 5. So for people who deal with complexity, I believe a lot of Mind Clash games are like in the high 4s and 4.2, 4.3. So it's super complex, but I'm so curious to see how this game stacks up, right? I mean, it could be a big winner, but it might not be for everybody. Anyway, I'm talking a bunch. People are commenting stuff. What's going on?
Oh, people are just agreeing with what you're saying. Super complex, big, heavy. So a lot going on. Dice rolling involved, so you'll love it.
A while ago, though, he wants to check out the solo co-op expansion for the War of the Ring, the card game. I don't know if anybody's looked into that.
Yeah, somebody popped that one up. I saw that too.
Oh, I didn't know that they were gonna do a solo one. That's cool.
I didn't either. I know the yeah. Look, Weeder mentioned that. I didn't know they're doing co-op and solo for that, so we'll have to add that to the list because I know War of the Ring came up. The other one that came up I didn't know anything about. Snow mentioned Defenders of the Dictionary. It's a word co-op game.
Defenders of the Dictionary?
Yeah.
Yep, it's where you learn about new words and are able to use them in normal speech without looking like a moron. Sadly, I have failed at this game more times.
I want to play this game already. Ubiquitous.
Every time. You beat me every time, Candy. Every time.
I'll go. They'll give Bairnt the word.
Oh my gosh! If I had to spell the word, oh, there's no way I'm winning this game ever.
Hotel? What was that word again?
They come up to Bairnt. They say soliloquy.
Soliloquy. All right, so we're gonna go talk to my silly.
Oh my gosh, I want to play this game. I just from what it says. I don't even know anything about it. I gotta look at. There's no images of it.
There's no information on it, so yeah, basically. Yeah, this is not on my list at all.
I would laugh hysterically if it's like a box, you open it up and like there's a dictionary in there. That's it.
It's the Encyclopedia Britannica.
It's like in the box. That's it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know nothing about this. There's no images. There's no nothing. And I'm curious.
Well, let's take a look. So I think that's all I had to cover for this Gen Con talk. So, like I said, this is just
bring anything to the table, guys.
Yeah, this is just preparation to get ready for the convention, and things will be on the lookout for. Make sure people don't miss out.
Yeah.
And then
I was
general
actually
tips.
Do my prep like next week and stuff, so I haven't actually looked at what's there and what's coming. So it was nice to hear about all these cool things, though, and I have a feeling I'll be tailing you around a lot of the con at the beginning here. We'll see. I don't know if I'll be running to the Cool Mini or not booth, but I will. At that point, I might run to a different booth, and I'll catch up with you guys later.
Well, I'm going there first for sure.
Yeah.
I'll get Derrick a copy and myself too. So.
And there's and for anybody wondering kind of what the list is going to look like, I know every year Board Game Geek does a list of games that'll be at Gen Con that you can actually go look and see, oh, okay, this I don't know if you're like, I don't know these companies, I just want to check to see if the game would be relevant to my interest. I know that before Gen Con, Board Game Geek says these are the games that are they put out a list of all the games that are going to be there, and you can go look and see what's there.
So Robin helped us out here. She says This is all I
Go
could
ahead.
find on Defenders of the Dictionary. Takes the well-known gameplay of grid-based word games and flips it on its head. You will need to learn how to work together within the system, navigate particular directions, and deal with all of the traps and setbacks the villain has set for you.
Ooh, so does the villain say things like get down to brass tacks, TAX? You gotta fix
I don't know.
Or is the villain an eraser? Erases letters and also
what's
names.
the there's one word that it's a double negative and people use all the time and it drives me insane. What is it?
Irregardless?
Irregardless. That's it.
Yep.
Irregardless? I don't think I've ever said that word in my life.
That's good. Keep it that way.
Don't ever say that word in your life.
No. I think Francis now added that to his dictionary.
Irregardless. It's a double negative. Regardless is without regard. Irregardless is what? Without regard, without regard. So
Yes.
it's with regard.
It's with regard.
I'm totally saying that now all the time. Francis
When people say texted, I texted them. No, you didn't. You said you text them. There's no ed. There's no ed. Don't do it.
What if they text back? Is they texted?
It's like y'all and y'alls. The S at the end.
Y'alls and oh gosh.
We don't say that here.
I'm from the South, so I do say y'all.
We just say Usta. That's the deal.
Okay, we're totally off topic now, but bunch of information for you guys. If you want to find us, we do have a channel on the One Stop Co-op Shop Discord. It's free to join, but in that there's a Gen Con channel. I'm sure there'll be people chatting there and talking, hey, I'm here, come find me at this booth or whatever. That's probably the best place to find us. Normally on Saturdays, I try to grab a table to play games. Because Saturday's like the busiest day. I try to do all my meet and greets and efforts and stuff Thursday and Friday. And Saturday is normally game playing time for me. So that I'll probably share that table information if you guys want to come out and meet with us and play games with us. So,
yeah.
But yeah.
Oh,
I'm just around.
Yeah, Robin's one. Sorry, Robin put on there said when people say I could care less, which means you do care.
Yes.
So instead of I couldn't care less. Anyway.
Sorry, Bairnt, go ahead. Vocabulary too now.
Go ahead, Bairnt.
See if I survive the next gator attack.
Stacy has a question here.
5 gators come out. What you got?
Will you guys be at Gen Con's Sun King beer tapping party on Wednesday? Unfortunately, not.
My flight gets in Thursday, so unfortunately, because of real life thingamadooies that I have to deal with, I won't be able to. I would love to be there on Wednesday, but I can't.
There is a publisher meeting time at that same time, Wednesday at 5. So I'll be at that instead. But
me too.
If I'm done with that, I will definitely head to the beer tapping party because that's fun. It's fun to go and hang out. So
yeah.
Yep. That's kind of. I mean, I plan. I think it'd be kind of fun if when it finishes to kind of head over there and say hi.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
yes, I'm here seeing a beer party. I know.
Yeah, I would love.
Had
an
event during that time.
It was so fun last year. Like I came in a week early last year, so I was there from Monday all the way through the convention.
Nice.
And I'd never been to Indianapolis, so I wanted to check it out. And so, I went to that, and it was so cool. We hung out, met tons of people. I met ton of people from the community, and just hung out, drank beer, and chilled. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay, I think that's probably going to end it for this week. Next week, I think we still can do another chat.
When is Gen Con?
Gen Con's the week after.
Okay.
Right? Am I dates wrong here?
No, you're right. You're right.
Okay,
Gen Con is the
week so after. That week we definitely won't have co-op chat. Well, I shouldn't say that. What do you mean?
Why wouldn't we?
We'll figure it out. We gotta make it work. So.
Well, think about it. We can get up at 7:00, have a quick co-op chat, and drive in.
Yes, it's gonna bring the hardware and set it up. We can figure it out. So.
Well, you just need a computer, Steve. Really, honestly, I don't expect to have like super amazing everything.
Sure, that's true.
People just really show up to listen to us banter more than they listen to me. I mean, look at my background.
I
Flannel
mean,
hanging out over here. I've got. I mean, I
we
should
could
start
do
keeping-
and like I think Steve or one of you two mentioned it, is that, and Stacy says it too. It's that it doesn't have to be in the morning. I mean, we can
Sure.
have we're if we're doing daily roundups of kind of
Oh
what
yeah,
we
we
went
could do a
through throughout the
Saturday night
day.
co-op
Let's just
chat.
freaking do a co-op chat at night. Anyway, but that's you know, it is up to y'all. I am but a
Y'all.
lowly guest, and so you all tell me how y'all want to
I
work
love
it.
how you think you're a guest. You're like a staple component.
Dan, I will find you, Dan. I will find you.
Regardless of the attendance.
So Dan is this is
Oh,
the first time you know, I'm looking forward to meeting Dan at Gen Con. This is the first time we chatted a bunch, but this is the first time I've met him in person, and we have this running joke that basically I'm gonna be Terry Tate, the office linebacker. So if I see him walking around aimlessly, I'll just like rush and just foot linebacker tackle him.
I will try to get that on tape. That'd be amazing.
So it'll be good.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's gonna end for tonight. What do you guys come up on the channel, Bairnt? How about you start?
You always make me start, Steve.
Always.
Colin is joining me on the 31st of July. We are going to do the final episode of Oathsworn. I just did a painting episode yesterday with my son. We had a lot of fun. I'm planning to do a assembly video for Shadows of Brimstone, because I actually had some few people in the chat asking about how to, like, what they need to do. They're like, oh, I just got Shadows of Brimstone. I'm kind of afraid of putting these models together, so I'm going to kind of go through some little tips and tricks and stuff like that I do for assembling miniatures. I've been doing it for Warhammer Fantasy since after pewter. I've only done plastic, so we'll stick with I've only do plastic miniatures. So yeah, that's what I got. In theory, Vampire Chapters was supposed to be released, but I went back and listened to all after I edited everything together, and like half of the time I got to the end of a word, it would cut it off.
Ooh.
So I have to go back and I have to re-edit the entire video. So I think it's only been about 2 or 3 weeks that I've put out a video for it. So but July is, like I've said before, it's really tough to kind of get stuff going. We do a lot of stuff together as family. So then that always takes precedence over anything else. So speaking of family, here comes hug number 2. All right. Anyway, that's I think what I got coming up. So what did I say? I said painting, assembly video, Oathsworn finale. I'm gonna try. Oh, I'm recording It's a Wonderful World. I'm recording that one as well. That's actually on the table right now. So I'm planning to record that and working on Shadows of Brimstone to get it up. That's the deal. I think that's it. Am I doing anything with you guys other than co-op chat on Saturday?
Not that I know of.
Oh no, I am. I'm doing Dungeons and Dragons on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just a little thing.
It's on that nerdy guys channel. Y'all don't have to watch that.
Oh no, it's the best part. It's like it's the most exciting thing every week. I mean, I like actually have. I already have my setup ready to go for Sunday. It's already set up and ready to go. Derrick, what are you doing?
Well, Sunday, tomorrow morning, I'll be playing Intrepid. So nice little. I'm a huge space nerd. Huge space nerd, and so I've had this game sitting forever, and I've even brought it to Steve's multiple times and said, I know we're gonna like this game. We just need to play it, and we haven't, and it keeps getting put off because we're playing different games. And so I was like, okay, I'm really into dice placement games right now, so I put it on the table, and I was like, yep, I'm right. I love this game. So I'm gonna be playing it quote unquote two-handed to see how it to showcase it on Sunday morning, and then Sunday evening D&D will be continuing our campaign of the Shadow Blades of chapter 1, so that ought to be fun. Tuesday I think that's if Tuesday is TBD. I have an idea of what I want to do. I just don't want to I want to make sure it's between 2 games. Thursday, Pandemic Legacy Season 2 February will be played with me and Pac-Man, and co-op chat on Saturday.
TBD?
So
The
To be
bringer of
determined.
donuts? Oh, to be
To be
determined. The bringer of
determined.
donuts. Okay.
Yeah. Because it's either I want to get back to Isofarian Guard, but
Yes.
if I'm having such a good time with Intrepid, I want to play all the missions so people can see all the different missions that come with it. It's not a lot. It's like 3 missions, and then get back to Isofarian Guard. So I'm trying to determine which way I want it to fall.
I'm excited to see Intrepid.
Yeah. So but that'll be that's that Tuesday's up in the air. Steve, what do you got coming?
Yeah, well, starting a new
Yeah.
series. So I try to do the Mondays be like a few plays of a game, and I already done a few of these already, but I want to wrap up the remainder of the spirits in Spirit Island for Nature Incarnate expansion. So that is I'm gonna start doing that Monday with Kim. Wednesday, I'm hoping to get Catharsis to the table, which is a game that Derrick lent us. So I want to demo that one, but that may change because we have people visiting from out of town. So Wednesday might not happen. It might be different games because they play games too. I'm not sure if they want to stream or not. So the rest of the week is kind of nebulous for me, unfortunately. So Monday will be Spirit Island though, and then we'll go from there. Don't worry though, D&D's happening for sure Sunday night. So next week as well. So, but yeah, I think that's basically it. And I think we'll wrap it for today. So I want to thank everyone for watching, and we'll see you at the next stop.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye, everyone.